Okay. How are we doing? GM637, Ozair, Blood Mage, welcome, welcome. Hey, this screen, I think is better. And the desktop audio, actually pretty low for you guys, but it's high for me. Let's pick a good level. That seems alright to me. How are we all doing tonight? It is Saturday, for me at least. Might be Saturday morning? Friday? Probably not Friday, right, at this point. I think everywhere is Saturday. That'd be weird. But it is the weekend, and you know what that means? That means we're making games. So that's what we're going to do today, which is pretty exciting. Nox license activation. Bro, I'm just trying to monitor my stream. God damn, tablet. I think I'm a little bit too high. Alrighty, let's do it. Okay. Okay, so first things first, the audio just cut off. Yeah, that was probably me touching something. I don't know. I was adjusting the levels because it felt like it was peaking. This screen? No. There we are. Hey. Okay, so first things first, game jam results. We've been making this game for like 2 weeks and then 3 weeks, really, because let's be honest, like I spent last week mostly just like debugging some of the issues that I had with it because I felt like they were important to know, you know, how to deal with all this navigation bullshit and, you know, just other stuff that we have to deal with if we're going to turn this into an actual game. But yesterday, I think, was the moment of truth. We get to find out for real. Stream froze? Are we all good? It looks like it's okay on my tablet, although it's just playing ads. So I can't actually tell. Give me a second, I'll monitor the situation. Add to a what the heck, Twitch? That's so many ads. That's crazy. Oh well, I hope it's okay. We'll roll with it. Alrighty. Dude, 2 of 4. Do I get paid for that? I guess I do. Like 5 cents. So the moment of truth, I'll just wait a little bit. I think on Friday the results were released, but I decided that I wasn't going to look at it until we were all together and we can just review the numbers ourselves. And so that's what we're going to do. Just give me a second. I'm going to mute my microphone for a second while I adjust its direction. Okay. There we go. Now it's pointing at me. One day I'll get the sound balances right. I just don't want the mic too much in my face. But also, like, if it's too low, I end up hitting it a bunch. Realistically, like, the lav mic was a good idea, but then we had issues where I'd get irritated by it and I'd touch it and I'd cause issues for myself. I don't know. Hang on a second, I can check the stream. End up hitting it a bunch. Yeah, nah, we're all good. Stream looks okay to me. Oh, it's choppy. Is that what the problem is? Why choppy? Is that... I've dropped 39 frames. 39% of my frames. Actually, that's insane. That seems like a lot. Why am I dropping so many frames? It's just not happening tonight. Where's... It says excellent connection. Frame rate, 60 FPS, and then it drops down to 5? Yeah, it doesn't look good, eh? How come it does that? 37%. Stop recording, maybe? Maybe recording is effing the stream. Why would it drop so many frames? What's going on in the background? Nothing. Am I downloading something? I exited all platforms before I started streaming. It's still doing it. Your internet is bad? No, I don't know. Like, I'm starting to think it's actually something. I guess the show goes on. I'm not too sure. Honestly. Dropping between 5 and 30 FPS. Bitrate looks bad, eh? What is... The live feed says excellent. Refresh that. Do I need to restart my computer? Because it's not coming... Okay, I'll try on YouTube. Yeah, you can try on YouTube. It's not going to change anything because I think it's coming from me. Because I can see that I'm dropping frames on OBS, which is insane. Normally I drop like 2 frames, but I'm dropping like a lot of frames. And so I don't know in terms of performance what's happening. Everything seems all right. Don't know because settings. Not that I can change much, right? Audio bitrate. It's... I'm not even recording anymore, so it's just literally just streaming. Cannot estimate memory usage. Encoder preset balanced. Output. We're doing a hardware stream, which is what we want. Encoder preset quality. Speed. Apply. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm having troubles. What do we do? I don't want to... Saturday is the best streaming night of the week. Can't be crapping out on the stream. I turned down the quality. I think it's stabilized. We'll just watch that. Oh my god, what a start. Any word on the quality? Oh, it's fine here. Okay. That's good. All right. Well, just Twitch being Twitch, I guess. All right. So let's have a look at the results. I don't know what they're going to be like. MZETH Mzeth. Welcome to the stream. How are you? I think I'm having quality issues. It's hard to say. Don't look good on Twitch, that's for sure. Dude, I need better internet. I can't handle it. Mr. Ev, we've seen his games. He's legit. He's dude. Streamer dude. No, game maker dude. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Oh wow, yeah, no, you're legit. Look at that. I won't peek you too much. Scavenge by Sunset. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. What are we working on? We are checking the results of our game jam, which was like a zombie vampire survivor cross FPS wave shooter kind of thing. It was okay. I'll give myself, like, if I had to mark myself, maybe we talked on Reddit once. Oh, did we? There you go. That's cool. I spend a lot of time on Reddit. Probably too much time, to be honest. So yeah, we did our game jam and the results are finally out and we're ready to check them. And I'll go to, actually, you are risky. Don't want to go to itch. Just show those. Okay, game jams. I could probably just go directly to it. Zombies. I guess I have to kind of be logged in on it, don't I? I can't really. Okay, here we go. We got the results. Let's have a look. I'm new to game dev myself. It's so cool to see what everyone else is working with. Yeah, I think that's part of the joy, like getting involved in the community and just like talking to people and you know, finding out what they do. My itch rating was scuff. Oh, was it? Yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I don't think it'll be that good, to be honest. After I played through all the games and there were some real good ones. So let's check it out. Okay, we got ranked Seeking Peace. Yeah, number 1. That game was really ingenious. I don't know what the word is. It was really unique. I'll try to go back to Twitch. Okay. Yeah, this game was like really interesting. So I'm glad it did well. Dead Zone, I don't remember. I did play it, but I don't remember it that much. Zombies versus Humans. Okay. Oh, and Dungeon. Did he submit too? They look so similar. Anyway. Night Lurkers, this was also really good. Last Survivor, Seeking Peace was amazing. It needed more polish. Yeah, and the voice acting and everything. Idle Game with No Name. 7th, not Zombies vs. Humans from Below. Zombie Battler was great. Double Brothers was also really good. Alright, we're not ranking, boys. This ain't good. This ain't good. I'm pretty low. There's only 30 entries. Did I come last? Did I come last? Zombie Survivors, Booze the Zomboozle. Is this Godot only? No, it was open to any engine. Really, we saw ones like someone used Raylib, you know, so it's all over there. 25th, dude, I'm bottom 5. This is bad. Zombie Skylands, zombies 28th, bro. Ooh. Blasted Brains, by the way, 16th. Dude, I got 28th. That's so bad. Alrighty, guys, it's been a good stream. I'll see you guys next week with another stream making game, I guess. I'm just kidding. It's not the end of the world. It's pretty bad though. Which website is this? This is Itch. Hey, Scavenged by Sunset. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm actually not leaving. I'm just joking. Yeah, that's actually that's worse than I expected. But I guess that's just how it goes. Alrighty. Should I? This game was basically identical to mine, and it got better scores. Oh well. Rip. Oh, right on. So we're here. GM said yours was 16th. What was the name of your game? Blasted Brains. I don't remember playing it. Can we see the game? Yeah, we can play the game. I've changed it so much. I might have to go get the export version. 16th. Survivor Horde? Blasted Brains. I thought this was good. Oh well. Making a Dead by Daylight meets Pac-Man inspired games. It's been pretty fun to make. That's cool. Jams seem scary. Yeah, I mean, they are, because you can come last, and that stings a little, but it's all about flexing your creativity, just getting involved, really. Like, I'm sort of memeing on myself a bit, because I don't put as much effort in as other people do, and I think most of what I like to do is just make something, right? And so if it turns out to be shit, that's okay. You just move on to the next one. Where is the game? Let's show people the game. It's going to be under Documents, Godot, Exports, Zombies. I'll have to run the exported version because, well, the bit like the current game is not running. Well, I changed it too much. Okay, so basically, I preface this. It especially stings if your ratings don't match what people are saying in the comments. But people are nice. They're never going to say your game's shit. Like, they'll point out bugs and stuff. Okay, so let me just turn the sound down because it's always like way louder than I think it should be. Turn the pixel effect off, and let's just go full screen. So I guess for people for watching, it was essentially just a wave shooter, and it was really basic. But the gimmick was that you get levels, and you could choose like a way to power up. So the zombies would just spawn basically anywhere, sometimes right in front of you. That was the biggest criticism, and I can understand that. You know? That is an understandable criticism. I still don't like the music being so loud. Let's just turn it off. Actually, music was kind of... What I need to do is pause the other music. Okay. Okay, so... Yeah, this was literally the entire game. It was just like, see how long you could survive. But I ran into major performance issues, which probably hurt my rating. So I could only get 30 zombies on the map at any given time. I'm out of ammo, and that was also like a bit of a balancing issue. And so basically this was it. Is that a crosshair? Yeah, it's just a dot in the middle of the screen. So, you know, you could just pick an upgrade. So in this case, we've got to choose from sprinting, the ability to sprint, the ability to unlock the AK, and increasing the weapon of your currently equipped weapon by 100%. That's the knife. In this case, I'm going to choose the AK, and then we'll just switch to that and we can start shooting, right? And yeah, that's pretty much the entire game, to be honest. There's not a lot going on. So like, I guess in retrospect, it's not that surprising that that it didn't do well, because compared to some of the other games were really well thought out. And same here, like you can just, it's an increase, 100% increase to the weapon damage, which is pretty big actually. That's pretty lucky. I spent a lot of time on the enemies and also the upgrade system. So I probably spent more time than I should have. Hey buddy. Yep. And so just over time, there would be more zombies. I had a couple of issues where the zombies were very easy to get away from, and so probably most people would have experienced just lag, right? Like if I had to think back on what the experience of this game would be, it would have been that they like had no problems killing the zombies because you can just kite them indefinitely. They do get faster, but you know, if you unlock the sprint, then you basically can never be caught. And it was fairly easy to get upgrades as well. Sprint duration by 1 second. That's massive. And so the game loop's very basic, and that probably explains why it didn't perform well. It might be FOG graphics related? Yeah, I guess. I went for a very like specific style, like the fog and everything. Is the fog volumetric? No, it's just the basic fog. That guy's stuck. And so over time, the zombies got harder to kill. And obviously, yeah, there's some like placeholdery stuff. Sprint duration. Yeah, it's too easy. But it barely lags. Okay, yeah, there you go. I think this would actually increase the lag, to be honest, if I like made it more fog. Isn't fog like performance demanding? I actually don't know. Hey guys. Your knee pain is healed. I can crouch, but it's not like that useful. I had like all these movement changes, like being able to crouch, but it didn't really... The problem was if you had the ability to hide from the zombie, then you were just going to get 30 to like max zombies, and then like the game just started lagging out. Yeah, it's kind of boring on reflection. Are you testing your game? No, I'm just showing people what it looked like. Someone asked. But you guys have all seen it a million times, so let's get out of here. But yeah, rip. Not the best result. To be honest, I was kind of hoping for something a little bit better, but you know, that's just how it goes. So, I guess where do we go from here? Because I was thinking to continue working on this game, but if it did so poorly, then maybe I need to start from scratch. Like if I'm going to make an FPS game, what kind of FPS game am I going to make, and how can I make it fun, right? That is the question. Undead. I don't remember this one. Oh yeah, that was a really well polished game. I didn't make it that far in, but there was a lot going on. Like they did a lot. Yeah, the games are just better. Let's be real. So yeah, I'm honestly not too sure, but it is what it is. So, oh, excuse me. I guess the question then is, what do we do now? Do we keep working on the game, or do we have another look at making something else? I do want to make an FPS game. This wasn't fun. Change the format? What kind of games are like really popular right now? There was what was it? Once Human? That's like, I can't make a game like that though. Maybe we just do more jams until we find it. Have you checked out the update I was talking about last week? I'm in this stage now where I favor getting away from the wave-based gameplay loops. I think a lot of players feel low quality that it brings, and the environmental progression feels really good. Yeah, I do agree. Like, I don't really play wave shooters at all, which probably limits my ability to even make them. I definitely prefer exploration over waves. Like, if I play an FPS, I like playing FPS games, but it's never like it's never a wave shooter, right? Like I'm going to be playing like a, I mean Halo maybe, but like that is kind of a wave shooter to be honest. But um, I definitely play more like Prey, like immersive sims. I'm hopefully releasing my game soon, but the trailer still needs work. Yeah, that's the hardest part, man. Do you have a trailer? You could share it if you want. We can watch it on stream. I'm always keen.
You know, maybe I'm
Oh,
crazy, but it.
sorry, I didn't mean to pull your video up. I was just seeing you because you're making a game, right? Miss, I don't know how to pronounce your screen name. MZ8th. I do pixel art and game dev. Or do you have a current project, or have you ever played Cruelty Squad? No, I haven't. That's an immersive sim, right? I should probably check it out. It's made in Godot too. Okay, so dude, man, you grew really fast. That's really impressive. Just M Zeth. Okay. I like Zeth. That's easy to pronounce. Yeah, your channel grew like crazy fast. That's really cool, dude. Good work. Alrighty. So, I guess the next question is, do we do more jams, or do we work on something else? I haven't made a tutorial in for forever. It was mostly from game jams. There you go. You're doing the devlogs after the game jam. There's the Kenny Jam stocks. It's only a 2-day jam though. That's kind of hard for me. MTG starts in a month. Ugh. Zingo Troy, Skode Wars. Godot Wild Jam just started. Unintended consequences. mostly wildcards. Make rest an element of your game. Make a game over screen minigame in itself. Wildcards are an optional limitation. And then there was something else someone was asking me about. People were asking me about dual wielding for the game dev for the template that I make, and I don't know. That's a tough one. Reload current project, quick to project list. Because it's all animation based. So if you wanted to do dual wielding, I don't think it's possible. I do want to explore like an upgrade system, being able to like upgrade the guns. Like if we had guns, were we able to add things to them like a sight, a scope, or like increased damage? The trailer needs work and I suck at that. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm reading the same thing twice. Music stopped. It's quiet. There we go. But yeah, that's a bummer. I'm really disappointed. Very sad. Anyway. So let's, I don't know what to do now. I don't know if I want to keep working on that game. That's so funny. What can we make? We need to make an FPS game. But obviously zombies aren't the answer, or wave shooters in general probably aren't the answer. It's low-key kind of hard, eh? Stream's not... The stream quality is really bad today, eh? I actually don't know what to do, guys. Rip to the stream. Rip to projects. Shall I just make... should I just make like Pong again? That was a fun project. Alright. How about a remake? Yeah, I probably need to readdress, like, even if I was going to continue working on like a zombie based shooter, because I was thinking like in terms of this project, so like when I was thinking maybe I should keep working on this, I was thinking it would probably be better if it was more like rather than wave related, say like roguelike, I guess would be the better like format for that. And so it was just going to be like you go into an area and it's like randomly generated and you kill the zombies and loot them for upgrades, and then you come back to your base and you can upgrade your gun and like stuff. And so like, because I was pretty stoked with the way that we were doing upgrades in the system. So we had an auto load. I think it was called Experience Manager. So the way that we were handling levels was pretty good. It needed some polish around the edges, but like in terms of like getting an upgrade, obviously we wouldn't really need, if we were just like letting them upgrade themselves, then it's no problems. You don't really need to do any of this stuff. But in terms of like dishing out things, then, you know, it could work pretty well. And I think this is like a nice system to be using, and then we could probably take that and turn that into like a fully fleshed out system in terms of upgrading a stat on a weapon. And then we need to store that information. So that's like pretty key. Where's GIMP? So if I was going to talk about like an upgrade system for anything in your game, just go like new. Okay, that's fine. Just flashbang everybody. Sorry about that. Look at the size of this thing. Good luck with the trailer. Yeah, man. Slacks, welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? Alright, so if we have an upgrade system, then we're going to need to... Obviously, we've got like a thing that you can collect that entitles you to an upgrade. And so we can go and pass that to like some kind of singleton. Gotta get back to work. Alright, no worries, man. It's nice talking to you. Should probably subscribe, eh? So we've got the singleton that the upgrade gets passed to, but we need to like save that information so that we can retrieve it, right? Otherwise, what's the point of more than a single playthrough? So being able to store that upgrade, well, it's 10:40 this side of the world. My day is just starting, really. Nice. It's 7:42, so it's very different here, that's for sure. And so we're going to save that information. I guess the thing is, like, what are we upgrading? If it's not going to be like just run speed or whatever, if we want sort of like a slot based system, so you've got like, oh, your weapon, so you've got, call it a weapon, and say you can improve the weapon by adding things to it, like you do in a lot of other games, and maybe it doesn't have to be like a visual upgrade, it can just be whatever. And then you have the player, and you can also like add things to the player, you know, like make him run faster, like more health, right? So you add health, you add speed, and or whatever. And this can just be like damage, stability, like things that we can easily improve on the weapon. And we can just say, oh, it's a grip. And like, I don't know if we need to visually change the appearance of the weapon. Like that might be a bit difficult in terms of like making that a possibility. Usually you would make a player stats basic upgrade system with money and then use weapon stats with the roguelike system. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's the other question as well. Like, do these things have to exist in the same system, right? Because like they're two separate objects, and do you have something that sits on top and like distributes all of that and keeps track of it? Obviously we need to like probably save it into a dictionary and then pass it on to all the other objects that have upgrades. So you're going to need like some kind of UI to show what things you have collected and obtained, and then you go to a place to actually allocate them to your weapons or something like that. Go with that. There's a couple of things we don't have already. So like right now in the template, so if we just like started a new project and we created where is it? So probably quit the project list. I just want to create a new project for this rather than trying to dismantle the old one. We grab the code if we need it. Git repos, Godot FPS template. Let's just make a copy of that. Import Godot FPS template. Alrighty, so is the Twitch stream like totally screwed? I can't tell. Okay, so say we've got this. I'm just going to rename this project really quick. FPS game maybe. Right? So we don't even really have a way of keeping track of what weapons the player has. Like the weapon manager has like slots, right? Like you have mostly an infinite number. I've set it max weapon 0. So the player has like an infinite number of weapon slots. It can carry as many weapons as he wants. We'd probably cap that if we're going to actually make a game. But there's no way to get this information back once things have been... like if we go and play the game and, you know, pick up all the weapons, there's nothing to sort of keep track of on any of that. We probably need to implement some kind of save system just to keep track of all this information. And I would also say that it's, you know, going to be one of those things where like the weapon as itself is going to need like a dictionary on it that keeps track of the upgrades. We could have all kind of stats under a single roguelike system. When you die or finish after a certain threshold, you get to keep specific upgrades. I don't know how you would decide that. Yeah, that's what I would do. Like if I had to think about what this would look like, it would be that you're going out and collecting things or whatever, and then like allocating your upgrades when you come back or as you go, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Basically, when you die, you come back, you keep all of that stuff, and you're basically you're trying to reach something. I don't know what it would be. Like it wouldn't like I don't try not to get too caught up in like the actual motivations of the player or whatever. Like say you're trying to kill a boss or something like that. Look, if we're going into something kind of like I don't know, like there's like I don't know if there's any good comparisons for FPS games. Maybe the Prey DLC. I need to play that game. Moonbase, I think it's called. And there's another one that was really popular for a couple of months. It's made by the same people. Prey. You can easily keep track of, make an array. Yeah, I would probably just make it a dictionary. Arcane Studios. They got shut down, eh? Rip to the goats. No one liked this game, so why would I try to like... If I remember the game, it was Redfall, right? No one liked it, so why would I try to recreate something like that? I never played it. Yeah, well, the problem is they promise too much. Co-op FPS. And basically, I think in that game, you just went around killing shit. And then when you died, you just came back. I don't know if you lost anything. It was kind of similar in idea. I don't know if it's the same. The question is, I guess a lot of the, like what gives the game the fun part? Like, is it the killing of the enemies? Is it looting them for like upgrades and stuff? Or is it like what part of it would be fun? I don't know. That is the question. So we've got the player controller, we've got the example world. I'm gonna need like a folder. If you have time right now or later, feel free to check out the update. Oh yeah, let's have a look at that. We can check it out. I don't mind. Zombies Game Jam. You said you came 16th. Blasted Brains, right? Yeah, there you are. I played all the games, but I remember this one. Yeah, it was good fun actually. I have to download, that's fine. My internet's been really funky today though, so I don't know. I don't know about the quality of the stream. Am I on the Wi-Fi? No, I'm not. I'm on the network. I don't know, guys. My internet's been bad. I can't wait. Like, I'm getting like 50 megabits per second, which is pretty bad. the end of the year they're gonna give me I think maybe 250, 500. I'm actually not 100% sure what it will be. It's getting upgraded, which is good. Is this gonna blow my speakers out? I thought your game was really good. Right, anyway. I'm outside and it's barely loading YouTube for me. Okay, so that's okay. Blasted brains. Was this 3D object here before? I don't remember it. Hey, no, it's all good. Welcome, Mr. Forgettable. Let's play. Yeah, I actually, I quite like just shooting. How do you control? I think the only thing I'm not a fan of when it comes to 2D shooting is like... This is, what's that game called? Oh, wait, I'm dying. The recoil is real, yeah. I'm gonna die.
Be careful. Oh dear. Take this. Oh dear. Take this.
I find that guy a little bit distracting, but... It's nice. It looks good. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, it's a good game. Down key to change the weapon. Oh, I had weapons. I didn't know. I thought I had to unlock them. Oh, man. That guy got me good. I don't like that one. Also, let's just pause my music because it's competing with yours.
Pull out your pistol. You gotta defend us. That's right. Try using this.
Easy.
I'm Droid Assistant. Ooh. Pull out your pistol. You gotta defend us.
Like, I think this is really good for for a jam. Like, it's way better than what I made. I have enough money for stuff? Oh, I still need to get to 100.
Try using this.
It doesn't need to be because this game is like entirely keyboard driven, so it's okay. Do I have 100? Oh, I'm not quite yet. Whoa, there's a boss man. Oh, I'm in trouble. Can I buy something? Oh. Okay. No, it's good. I think if I had to say anything, it was that I didn't really understand the purpose of old mate from Borderlands. Is it the Borderlands guy? Borderlands robot? It didn't look exactly like that. Right, but it looked... Borderlands robot? This guy, right? But yeah, other than that, good. Animation's top notch. Yeah, it looks great. It feels good to play. The only thing I don't really like about the gameplay is the verticality, but that's maybe me just being a noob, because like when the zombies are on the upper level, then I can't shoot them, and I feel like I should be able to. So like maybe consider mouse aiming for the player. But other than that, like I really liked it. It's really good. Have you made many games? I'm just gonna like casually look at your oh, you made tons of games. Yeah, no, look at that. You're a pro. You made way more than me. That music gets in your head, eh? Alrighty. Now we were talking about like how to store our information when it comes to our upgrades, and like how we can get to that, right? So like I guess I'm going to be looking at I want to change this to auto loads. And zombie goes slightly above the player's gun. Yeah, that's sort of how it was like, I can't kill it. It's actually an update for a different jam. That time, both jams were running at the same time. Other than jam required me to add the bot. Oh, okay. Fair enough. So then if I wanted to save weapons, I'm going to need to have equipment tracker. Like what does this thing do? I'm gonna limit its scope. Or is it just gonna be like save load? Like load save? Resource loader? I think that name's taken. I'm just gonna call it save game for now. I tried changing the hitbox. It seems it's still pretty hard, eh? I think, yeah, well, the thing is, like, I think it would feel better to me if I could aim with my mouse. That's about all I have to say. But, like, I don't know if that's true. Like, it's hard to tell from, like, a user perspective what the problem is there. And the other thing is, I couldn't exactly tell how much damage I was taking or if I was close to death. The problem is the player. The problem's always the player, let's be real. That's, like, the most truth ever. A zombie be fine. Yeah. Exactly. All right. Let's see if we can create something here. Save game. So it's really just a bunch of dictionaries and stuff. So the pattern is pretty easy to deal with. Battery icon is the actual health. Oh, okay. I understand. Tests. No, I want to go to my development projects, game, sound packs, Godot, and I'm looking for my saving and loading pattern for dictionaries, because I'm too lazy to write it out myself. Although I kind of wanted to look at config, right? Config file. What is a config file? Someone told me I should look into them for saving and loading. So this helper class can be used to store variant values on the file system using any style formatting. The stored values are identified by a selection and a key. Some key, some string value, hello world. A vector 2 equals vector 3. A vector. The stored data can be saved or passed to a file through the config file objects. It can also be used directly without accessing the file system. Right, so they are talking about like using it to save data. scores.cfg. So this looks like it could be a good way to save the information. Because there would be a lot, like if you're talking about like saving how much ammo the player had in any of their weapons, it's actually quite a lot of information to store, because it's not like I can just save the resource. I mean, maybe I can with this. I don't know. I can reference the resource and then actually it's going to get pretty interesting. Like, how do I pull that back? Because if I don't want to use resources to save it, what am I going to do to actually keep track of what is in there? Like, how much can this actually contain? Because if I was using this game took a different approach to make a save file. I took a different approach to make a save file. I think I made a class which I store a variable. It's a bit finicky to work with both config and file access for autocomplete. All for autocomplete. Yeah, well, I've used, to be honest, like resource saver and loader would be a great system for saving and loading data in Godot, except for the fact that it's not safe. So like, we kind of get screwed because it is such an easy system to use. But because you can do code injection with it, everyone says you shouldn't use it. So like, I don't know. Can you code inject with a with a file? Because like, we're just doing a text file or we're doing a config file, right? Those are our two options, right? Like you create a dictionary. It's sad that basic dicts don't have auto completion. Yeah, it does make things a little bit more difficult, doesn't it? Think the problem is, yeah, there's not really like a built-in. They probably, because you can save like resource. Oh, that's not going to be there. Search help. Saver. It's funny, and everyone was saying that they should put a warning in here. It's like, warning, people can both actually work fine. It's just a different syntax. Yeah. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You just have to like, and it doesn't matter. Like, even if you were able to use resource saver, you still have to like set up a thing to actually keep track of all the different bits of information you're taking. You can save this as a binary file, but I don't think that helps you too much, because someone can just like create a binary file with Godot and use it to inject the code into you. Who was apparently very good at teaching CS, but wasn't able to understand anything she said due to her accent. I mean, it happens, man. I feel like the more you listen to someone, if they have an accent, the better you get at understanding them. But yeah, I've definitely been in classes where it's been pretty challenging. My biggest issue at uni was like old dudes that just rambled. They're just not even talking about the subject matter. You're like, what are you talking about? This doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we've got config file. I want to explore this because I haven't done it before. So if we were going to save it, what does it look like? This helper class can be used to store a variant on a file system. I stopped trying to understand after like 3 classes. No, you just got to keep listening. That's the only way. I actually don't have that much trouble understanding people with accents, but like, I guess everybody's different. I guess it also depends on the person. Okay, note, the file extension given it does not have any impact on its formatting or behavior. By convention, the CSV extension is used here, but any other extension such as .ini is also invalid, since either CSG or INI are standard. Config file is usually used for game settings, but hey, you can hide your saved data there since nobody really touches the file for game settings. It's weird because, yeah, that's what I thought too. Like when I made a video on like saving and loading and I fucked up real bad. It was totally wrong and I had to delete it or remove that part of the video. And I looked at config for like 1 second and I was like, config? What? No. It's config. It's meant for configuring things. But like here, they're literally using it to store the player score. So like, I mean, I guess people are using it that way. Config.getValue. Config.getValue. I apparently missed arrays, inheritance classes, access specifiers and stuff. Yeah, well, you know, who needs that? Alright, so an operation that mutates config files, set value and clear array selection only changes what is loaded in memory. If you want to write the change to a file, you need two changes with save encrypted, or save encrypted pass. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's have a look at the pattern here. We got for saving, how to create and save it on disk. So you got config file.new, set value, and then save it to file. Overwrites if already existed, config.save. Okay, so the question is, like, how do we handle resources, right? Because that's the problem that we have with the player character specifically. If we have a weapon, so we can we can do it with the dictionary, but we also need to know the name, because this is all very reliant on the actual identical resources. So the way this works is, if you're in game and you already have Blaster Eye, it's not going to pick it up. It'll check for ammo instead. And it needs to be that same resource. Resources, you don't, like, unless you're duplicating them, will always be the same. So it relies on that information. So we accidentally picked that up, but like, I can't pick this up because it's the same weapon, right? Because that's a Blaster Eye resource, and the one that we have equipped is also a Blaster Eye. And then same with this and all these other different ones. So realistically, we need to find a way. We also need to consider the fact that this resource needs to be identical. We can't just take a version of this and just like copy that information. Like, you could just loop through every single variable and then just recreate it on load. But I don't think that would work, because it needs to be a blaster i.tres, because we're checking it, and we're checking it at the level. I'll bring back the code. Mordechai Melis, hello, how are you? So, if we were going to, so when we pick up a weapon, but I got it working. Yeah, I think we can do. I've done save and load before, but nothing at this level of complexity. It's always just been like data points, never with resources. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. It's been good. That's great. Change weapon. I want pickup. I want animation pickup detected. So if we go weapon slot equals body.weapon, and then if slot.weapon equals weapon slot.weapon, we're just comparing the weapon inside the slot. That's all we're doing. So that's how we check to see if it's actually identical. So I'm kind of curious to know if this will work. Resource saver I know definitely will, but it has problems. And yeah. So I am not on my laptop, but I wish I could show you how I did it. No, it's okay, man. Part of the stream is figuring it out. That's kind of what we do. So some key equals 42, some string. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. I actually understand pretty much all of this. So I want to open the docs on the other side so I can read this while I code. Godot docs. Ooh, beta 3. We're up to beta 3, guys. Godot 4.3 beta 3. What changed, actually? Let's get distracted a second. They're nearing the end of phase for Godot 4.3. Past 6 weeks. Solved most of the issues. A few remain, but not all. Godot is a big piece of software, and it's hard for contributors and even unit tests to validate all areas of the engine. When developing new features or bug fixes, we rely on extensive. Beta 3 got some good bug fixes. That's exciting. So highlights 2D allow selecting tile map layers by clicking on them. Geez, yeah. Improve viewport rotation gizmo drawing. Okay. Animation rework, animation physical bones for compatibility. Using wrong end frame. Okay. Animation reverse audio move MIDI passing from the ELSA driver to the platform independent driver. That's smart because I can't imagine Windows has an ELSA driver. Beta 3? Yeah, we're up to beta 3 for 4.3, which is the engine we use to make games. C Sharp, yeah, core, fixed storing node array properties, a bunch of boring stuff. Properly change grid map flaws while selecting. Okay. Specifically on my laptop, no longer lags when I rename or rearrange nodes. That's good. Yeah, they've been working on that. Oh my god, so many bug fixes. Wayland scale relatively pointer. Nice, nice. Navigation, thread use, cause navigation mesh source geometry or polygon data corruption. Okay. User data not copied. Godot 4.3 beta 3. User data. Big int. Okay, great. Support on JS value conversion. 93. Okay, so it looks like I can't wait for this to be out. I think Godot 4.3 is the true Godot 4. Wait. Did that happen to you? Too? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, GM637. Okay, so that's fine. Whatever. That's exciting. Oh, wait, I'm meant to be going there to actually look at the docs. I'm trying to look at the config file. The lag when rename or rearrange nodes. Yeah, that happens to everybody, man. I feel like that's just like a known thing. Like, when you rename or rearrange nodes, it's like really bad. It's actually horrible. Okay. So it wouldn't happen for this project because it's kind of like small, but like in other projects, you rearrange it. Oh, you mean up here? I meant like in the file system. So maybe not. Like, I don't think I have any trouble rearranging nodes, to be honest. Actually, I take that back. Yeah, I was thinking about the file system. My bad. Okay, so save game. Does that happen all the time? Yeah, kinda. I mean, Godot has some performance issues, but it's not that bad. Okay, so if we want to save a file, we probably need like let's just copy the docs to get it working. It never lags to me. I was on dev 5 at the moment. I got on the beta version, it froze like 3 seconds. I've had problems with the beta in terms of just performance in general. But we'll see how it goes when it releases. Okay, so this is just going to be like a config file, right? But new. Right. And then we store some values. I guess we probably put that in this function func. Save weapon data. This is not right. And then if we just like pass, we just pass the weapon manager, I probably need to make a class for that, weapon manager. And this will just be like, and it's going to go, I don't know what that is, which is fine because I'm going to make it calm down. We're just going to give this a class name. Copy the code and have brain farts trying to understand every line. Yeah, I write it out line for line most of the time, unless it's like really verbose. But yeah, I'll just write it out when I'm trying to figure it out. Class name, I decided weapon manager. Okay, great. So now this takes a weapon manager and it knows what that is, which is perfect because I'm going to need to know everything about it. Can this really just be... I'm guessing this has a limitation. Ref counted any style files. Help a class to handle any file. This class can be used to store variant values. This is variant values. I don't think I'm going to be able to use this, to be honest, because I need to know the resource. Will I need to use the resource saver in order to like store my resources? This is only going to work for actual values, so I can use it for like unless I store the path to the resource, right? This might actually be a problem because I do need the resource to be identical. Makes me wonder actually, what if I did it with the resource? How many weapons am I making? None at the moment, Mordechai. I am trying to figure out how to save them so that when we play the game, they're still there when we come back. Which is turning out to be kind of a bit of a headache. Not in terms of knowing how to do it. It's more of a question of what system to use. Because, and just knowing about like the limitations of the player controller, I think I'm really going to have a lot of trouble with this comparison to check if they're the same. Realistically, it's the only thing that, where'd it go? On animation, on pickup detection. I'm comparing them, but it really could just be like .name, slot.weapon.name. And if it's the name, then we're good. We can just like continuously recreate them. We don't need to be worrying about them being identical. I don't know about in terms of like load on the system. That should work in theory. Let's test it out. Like I shouldn't find any difference to the way the game works. Oh, it still crashed. Invalid get deck. Okay, it's probably just a variable thing. What's the actual variable name? Weapon underscore name. Okay, that makes more sense. So if we make it a string, then we can store the string and then we can just add that to a weapon resource rather than like making sure they're duplicate. If you want to save specifically, I think config file is a lot more complicated. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm sort of realizing, that in order for me, because I use resources for everything, right? This entire weapon management, this entire weapon system is entirely driven by resources. And so I'm comparing resources to make sure it's the same weapon and not to add it again twice. So you don't pick up the same weapon twice. But like realistically, that means I need to actually store a copy of like the resource either when you save, or I need to store a path to it, which is kind of hard for exports. Like if you're storing a path to an actual resource, I don't know how that would work. I guess I could get a string file for it and then pull it up and then apply it. But then I would still need to like, we're going to run into trouble. This is going to be tough. This is actually going to be pretty complicated because even though I'm also realizing now, let's just make sure that works before I get distracted. Did I forget to save? Oh. Lol. My bad. Right, okay, so now we don't pick this one up, all right? Resource saver and loader would be so much easier. Is there a way to make it safe? I don't know. Maybe override the weapon you're holding? Nah, because it, like, all the information, like, Could I override the... I mean, the amount of ammo that you have is top level, right? So it's like not dependent on the resource. The ammo is tracked by the weapon slot. Eventually, I'm going to have to make a resource for the ammo as well, so that we can have like ammo that's not like just numbers on a screen, rather than it's like an actual resource that we can use to maybe even have different weapons that share the same ammo, you know, stuff like that. We can create more complexity. But the point is, could we duplicate it? The answer is maybe yes, but like the thing is with that pickup, it says that basically I'm saying like, hey, if the name already exists, if this weapon already exists, just check for ammo, right? Otherwise, play the pickup animation, right? So that's how it works. Maybe it needs to be different. Depends on the kind of game you're making, right? You just pick up a weapon. Like in this game, maybe override the weapon you're holding. Yeah. Don't know. That would require a rewrite of this, which I don't really want to do. I just want to work with what we've got. But like, I'm still thinking I'm going to run into like a few challenges. You can't save the data of the weapon. Yeah, I mean, I can, but there's problems. I mean, you can have a variable that contains the weapon resource, but it could require you to save the resource. So yeah. So saving the resource is kind of the tricky part, because like this is kind of what it leans into, because I actually have a bunch of other scenes inside this resource. So I kind of want to, like, even if I said, okay, don't worry about saving the resource, we fixed that problem now. So now we're checking the name of the weapon. So in theory, we could just build a weapon resource on load based on, like, we could just save it as a dictionary, right? That's fine, because this is all just data at the end of the day. But these last three, like what happens when the weapon drops, what happens to the spray, and what happens to the projectile, right? Like, these are scenes that need to be loaded when you shoot the weapon, when you drop the weapon, and like, yeah, when you shoot the weapon, when you drop the weapon, really the only two. So we've got a challenge there, and it really does seem like saving it as a resource is like the best thing. Dennis123VR, how are you? Welcome to the stream. The question is, like, can we make saving resources safe? That is what we want to find out, because the problem with saving resources in Godot is that my nose is itchy. The problem with saving resources in Godot is that you can, like, someone can inject code into that resource without the person knowing. So I guess for a single player game, it's not a big deal, but like realistically, it is still something you shouldn't do. But I don't know. Like, it is something that we're going to have to tackle, I think. Can we make resource saving safe? Because if we can save resources, we just save the weapon slot, right? Like, we just take the weapon slot, the weapon stack, and we go through it, and we save each weapon slot as a resource. And I think that would just work. Like, you wouldn't really have to worry about it, to be honest. So I just want to check that, because I know for sure that that'll work, right? Like, this config actually will be a bit of an issue, because it can just save variables, right? But resource saver can just save the entire thing. And so that makes things a lot easier. Resource saver is kind of hard though. Like, wait, how does that work? I mean, injecting literal code into resources sounds way too complicated. All my resources have variables, so I don't know. So basically, if you don't know, I've actually done this before. I wonder if I can pull the project up, because I was a bit concerned about it when people told me, like, you could do this. It is, let me just see if I can find the project. It was on a different computer. So on test FOV maybe. Bear with me a second. I suppose I can show you this. It's not that big a deal. Game dev challenge. These are all the like flippin' FPS arms. Nope. Upload. The particular script meant to handle the resource. Speed equals underscore speed. Hey, stop making fun of me for that. Good lord. Yeah, speed equals underscore speed. It makes so much sense. Where is it? FOV, FPS game. It's not in the GitHub repos, is it? It really shouldn't be here. Viewport example tutorials. I got so much shit, man. Billy, audio logs, audio logic. G'day, FPS Pro, dialogue manager. Oh man. Let's try FOV. I can't find this project anywhere. FOV slider. My dumbass once thought GitHub was like a virus. I mean, you can get viruses from GitHub, so it kind of is. I'm a goat. I like the video, so don't worry. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You saved me. Settings, global settings.trez. If you just open with and get more apps, Visual Studio Code. So like you can open these up and you can just add stuff to them. There's a really good video with I think who is it? It's not Kids Can Code. Godot resource saver unsafe. This guy here, how easily save games with resource saver, and then easy save and load encryption. Quebble talks about it. Quebble's a good guy. Easy save and load with encryption. What does he say? Security note, setting up the script, player data resource, ready function, save data function, load data function, testing with buttons, more security notes. Security is an issue, right? He'll talk about it. He's smart.
Now, a lot of you guys were commenting on that video saying that it is not safe to do this method, and that does make sense because if you think about it, let's say the player downloaded something from, let's say, the Steam Workshop if you released your game on Steam, or let's say you downloaded a player save file for unlocking some sort of content without having to grind and progress yourself, which a lot of people do, then you have a potential security risk for hackers, so to speak, placing malicious code inside of that resource. And because Godot will just load the resource up and run it no matter what, that's obviously a huge security risk. So in this system, we're going to be basically converting any resource data or just basic properties that we'd want to save into JSON format.
Oh, he's going to create a JSON. It's not what I was hoping he would say. But yeah, basically it's pretty bad. Wonder if I can figure out how to do it. Anyway, let's just test to see if it works. JSON. Yeah, so basically people say like don't use resource saver. It's bad. For like you can use resource saver for like add-ons, plugins, like stuff that developers are going to use, but the thing is like you don't want to give it to a user because a user doesn't know, right? So like as a Godot developer, you should know that if someone gives you a project, even a Godot project could be compromised, right? So if you download something on itch, even my stuff, download something from GitHub, even the asset library, like I don't know how much they actually vet that stuff. There could be viruses or like things in those that you need to worry about. And so for us, that's just a risk of, that's, you know, like it's part of doing business, right? A part of making a game is taking on that risk because you're going to download resources from all over the internet and you are running code on your system. So for us, it's not a big deal. We know that resources can just run code, no problems. But for the user, they shouldn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Especially if people, I mean, if they're downloading resources off the internet, I would say, like, the cynical version of me would say, like, yeah, fuck them. They're downloading like someone else's save file and they put a virus in it. You're an idiot for doing that. You shouldn't do it. I'm not going to put a virus in my resource saver. Don't save it like that. Don't save it like that. It's a security risk. There's better ways to do it. Shut up, nerd. Like, shut up. TJ's Creation Kit, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So the tricky part is it's gonna work way better. The part that's kind of bothering me is it just Ace Jake as well. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. So I want to know if I can make that safe. That's the question. Can we make it safe? And I think the answer is yes. People have worked on it. I think it's going to be easiest for us. If we can't make it safe, we can explore doing a dictionary, but we're going to have to change the code of the weapon manager because it relies so heavily on, well, we can use paths. We're going to have to look at ways that we can get around that in terms of exporting resources, because when you export a project, the paths are going to be different. So what are we making today? We're working on a save and load system for our FPS. So we've got weapons, right? Right now we've got a really basic FPS template that I made, and you can download if you want for yourself on the Godot asset library. But we're trying to make a game with that. But part of that is knowing if we pick up a weapon and then we turn off the game, we log out or whatever, we stop playing, how do we keep track of, like, how do we come back and get those weapons? It should be easy to do, but it's actually turning out to be kind of a little bit more complicated. And part of the complication is that it's all resource based. So the weapon manager has an array of weapon slots, which are resources. These resources are not that important because they're kind of throwaway. They just hold the information. They can be expanded. You know, it's not a big deal. We don't care about this one. We just create a new one when we add a weapon. So that's not a big deal. But the blaster, the actual weapon resource, is a big deal because it's got scenes in it that we need to make sure are there when we load. So we can't just take this data, save it as text. We're going to need to keep track of, we need to either save the path to these files. Oh man, thanks for the tutorials. Yeah, I made a modified version. My Little Boomer Shooter. Yeah, that's cool, dude. How did you do the saving and loading? Yeah, it's a tough one. The funny thing is, like, the old version would be easier. Resource saving is the hurdle right now because I'm going like, maybe I could use resource saving. Can I make it safe? It's not safe, but can I make it safe? Because it's way easier to do. And it's a bummer that it's not. And so this is about as far as this is as much code as I've written today. One line. This is the name of the function. Pass. So, resource saving. I was looking at some reference code. Why does it not remember? This is the dictionary version. Screw it, we'll do it from scratch. It's not that hard. Resource saver. And the reason I want to try this is just to see if it is actually easy, because right now my brain is saying this is easy, you should do it. And so I want to check. And if it is, I would just wanted to know that I could say that that's an option for me. And then if it really is unsafe and we can't make it safe, then we'll move on and we'll try to look at storing the paths. So resource saving is the hurdle. Why does it not remember? Hi there. Hey, NA Games, how are ya? So we need to resource saver, add resource format server, get recognized extensions, save resource string path, Bitfield server. Yep. Resource. It uses inherits object. I thought that'd be like a tutorial on resource saver. I could take some, FOV slider. I don't even remember, eh? It's like you do these things once or twice and then you just forget everything. It's in June. It was stream is lagging for me. I'm having issues. It's I don't know if it's better or worse. My drop frames have gone down, so I was dropping a lot of frames at the start. So it was at the start of the stream, it was like 35% drop frames, which is really high. It normally sits around 0.2%. And I changed the quality of the actual OBS, and it's gone down to 26. So you guys are all saying it's lagging. I don't know how to fix it at this point because the CPU is fine. Like, I don't know. Maybe I should have restarted my computer before I started streaming. There's not much I can do to fix it at this point either. Only when you pull up other windows, I guess. Interesting. You watching 144p? Wow, that's crazy. That's actually so low. Oh, well, I don't know. It could also be just my internet being slow, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have the best internet. It's normally a lot better than this. Godot new tutorials. FFV slider new. Script. Settings resource. Global settings resource. Resource saver.save. So what's the thinking process for the saving system do you have in mind? Right now, I just want to see if the resource saver is actually good. I'm guessing from the accent, Australian internet. Yeah, Australian internet is screwing me right now. I get 50 megabits per second on the down and 20 up. And I know you can, like, even with fiber to the, like, I'm on the shittest version of the best internet, if that makes sense. You can be on ADSL, which would be even worse. It wouldn't even be streaming. So for the internet I have, its maximum capabilities is 100 megabits per second download, and I think maybe 20 megabits per second up, which is enough for streaming. But for me, I don't get those speeds because it's like copper, it's up the street, you know. And so like the internet is basically shit. And so I just pay for the 50/20 and it does okay. New Zealand internet is worse. I thought it was good. Moving to Europe, I was astounded that the lowest internet I could get there was the same as the best I could get back home. There you go. I think it depends on the part of Europe though, because I've been to Italy a lot and the internet's never good there. So you could still get shit internet some places. Okie dokie. So this looks pretty easy, to be honest. On resource save, resource settings, self script. I hate how people measure internet speed in bits. Yeah, I did too until I started doing networking around the house. Like for me, I was always like, well, the downloads are displayed in bytes, so why would I want bits? But then it doesn't convert like 100%. And then when I was setting up my home network, it was like I realized that bits really matter, and so I had to understand it. And so like I needed my internet, my local network is, I want to say it's 10 gigabits. Maybe no, it's not that high. Let's hold up. It's 2.5 gigabits, which is pretty good. It's like in tiers. 1 gigabyte is pretty common here in Denmark. Jesus, fuck you. I'm so jealous. That would just be a lot better than what I have to deal with here. 1/10. 1/10 of that speed. Good times. Yeah, we're in the boonies, I guess. Like our government didn't care for ages. Let's change the music. Add to playlist. Okay, so set get global resource, mouse sensitivity change connect, set camera FOV, on resource change resource, save as save. So I'm just reading some stuff. I'm reading some of my old work. I know this is bad, but I want to try it anyway. Game menu, global settings resource. You were playing music. It's pretty low in the mix. WPI Godot, welcome to the stream. How's it going? So what I want to do, like, this doesn't seem right. Setting singleton? Did I really do this? I've got an old video. I want to check it. You guys want to watch some deleted scenes? I don't remember it looking like this. What do you pay for it though? 71 AUD. That's less than what I pay right now for 50 megabits per second. I pay $80, 80 Australian dollars. So I guess you could say it's pretty comparable because, like, you know, who knows what the taxes are like. Well, actually, no. Denmark, you'd have like value added tax, so that number would include taxes, right? So, yeah, 10 bucks more for 0.05 for 5% at that speed. Yeah, it's getting upgraded at the end of the year though. So they just went through all the streets and for like the last couple of weeks laying cables, so it should be good. Should be good then. It's only taken them. They started upgrading the internet in. Can you show us a game? It's not much of a game. It just looks like this. It's very basic. We shoot gun and rocket launcher. Yay. I missed it. Dang it. Right. That's pretty much it. U-Mobile hotspot, yeah. Sometimes it'd be like that. Hopefully one day you'll have internet. I've been fluffing around for so much of this now. No worries, man. Video projects, FOV slider. Sorry, I'm gonna have to watch one of my old videos because I don't remember how this went together. Which is pretty funny. Audio final, audio outro, thumb 1, thumb 2, backup peaks. Dude, wait, where is the project? Did I not? Where is the project? Peaks, audio, KDN live. That was not gonna work. Did I just not like export it? God damn. God damn it. Did I not export it to that folder? New volume line, G pictures. I'm over it. I just have to write it from scratch. I really don't want to. Why am I procrastinating so much today? So it's been a bad afternoon. I did very badly on the game jam, and now I'm sad. I need the user path, right? User save path. I don't know. And what is it? It's normally just like user, right? My brain is not working this afternoon. Yes, it normally looks like this. User, download that, and then question. That's fine. File access, right? This isn't even like. Dude, why is it so hard to find some basic code, eh? Save this in the user path. And I want to call it weapon saved. Weapons saved. And I guess it would just be like weapons, saved weapons. Actually, I should call it saved weapons. Oh yeah, what happened to the game jam? I got second from last. Bro. It did not go well. I'm glad you liked them. Thank you. Saved. Weapons. It's a good day for weird frustration. I'm on a day 2 or 3 of trying to find a NAT punch through solution that works for me, that doesn't rely on Steam or Epic. Yeah, that's really tough. That's not going to be easy. It needs to be like a .tres. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad. It is what it is. Let's improve. Yeah, for sure. So now it's so much to improve. I got second from last. Oh. Yep. But it's all just in the process of learning, isn't it? That's just a part of the game. You just grow and you move on. And instead of working on making a fun game, you go and try to work on a. It's okay, Daddy Chef. They don't know what you were worth. Thanks, man. So we're going to create a resource to hold the resource. Is that right? Does that make sense? They don't know what you're capable of. They don't know. Player prototype script. Settings. Settings, TRES file, settings resource, global settings. None of this makes sense to me, guys. This really shouldn't be that complicated. I've actually done it a bunch of times. I spent like literally weeks on it. In June, trying to work it out. But for some reason now my brain is like, bleh. Global settings, preload, make JSON. This is, I converted it to a JSON and this is what that looks like. Settings, game, global settings. Is it gone forever? Resource file, dir access, save. Here it is, here. I found it. Hey, Shaf, what are you up to? I am breaking resource saving. I'm saving game. I'm saving the game. Here's the code I was looking for. Global settings equals global settings. This is a really simple code. It should just work exactly the same. And I just want to see if this works. And then we'll explore ways that we can protect it from code injection, if we can, on the load. That is the thing we want to do. It's really kind of quite basic. All you need to do is create a saver resource. So we create a script. We create a script. Weapon saved weapons resource. And it inherits a resource. Create. Do you like developing games? Yeah, I do. It's a good fun. It is probably like I like coding in general, but like making games specifically, I like the systems that go inside of games. Making the game design, level design, stuff like that, they're not really, I'm not good at them, so it doesn't feel nice to do. But like the systems and stuff I'm really interested in, like making a FPS controller. That was fun for me, you know? And now trying to figure out like how to, no, he's torturing himself, of course. I mean, some people do. There's definitely moments where I would do it less, to be honest. Like I would probably be doing it less right now if it wasn't for like the community, which is good. Like at the end of the day, like even if you're in a moment where it's not as interesting to you, because that happens, right? Like even for things you like, you go through phases. Like at the start of the year, I was really, really interested, and probably right up until like May, and then like May hit for some reason, and then I was just like, you know what, this is kind of boring. But like I still like it, and I'd still work on it just less. And then like, especially now, like you know, it's like the game jam didn't go well. That would normally like make me want to do it less. Not in a way to quit, like I wouldn't quit, but I would just be like, oh, I need to take a break from this because it feels bad, right? But the good thing is like I've got the community, and so like I can come on stream and we can just chat and chill, and that makes it way funner, right? Like you guys make it fun. Without that, it would just be like, I just wouldn't do it. I'd go play games. Thank you, man. Okay, save weapon resource. So where's my code? Because I'm a dum-dum. It's really not that. Actually, I need to make the, get out of here with that. Save weapons. Class name. Yeah, saved weapons. And this is literally just going to be a variable of weapons. I don't think that's taken, so that's okay. And it's an array. It needs to be capitalized. Oh, this is wrong. I'm all over the shop tonight. It's going to be of weapon slots. It's going to be an array of weapon slots. That's it. That's all we need for this right now. I like the snowballing effect of, oh, interesting. I thought I would have to use a complex way to save game securely. Yes. Okay, Glitch, you're 100% right. What I'm doing right now is not safe. And generally people don't recommend it, but I want to see if I can find a way to make it safe. It probably can't because I'm not a security professional. So like at the end of the day, don't do as I say, not as I do. Is that right? I like the snowballing effect of game dev until there's no momentum, then rinse, repeat the process. Yeah. Okay, so now we know we've got a saved weapon resource. So we can get that global setting. So we can create it here. We can go, I've already created. Save weapons path. And then we can go saved weapons. And that is going to be equal to saved weapons dot new. So we create a resource. Let's just put pass in there for a second. So basically what I like to do is just on the ready function, create the resource that we're going to save and then, or check that if it exists and then put it into this variable. Well, I want to use resource saver because it's easy to use functionally, but the security is a big problem. The security problem is a big deal. And so I guess I think it depends on a lot on the game you're making. Like if your game is moddable, if you think people are going to be sharing this file, it's a big problem. I think if no one's sharing the file, then it's not really that big a deal, right? Like you download a game, you're at risk if you're a user, right? So it's not like abnormal. Like if you put this in your project, you're not really giving them any additional risk except for if they go and pass it around. That's a problem, right? So there's things you could do to like help with that, but yeah, it's just take it with a grain of salt. No one is going to be hacking my game anyway. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. But if you do end up creating something that does get popular, then you do need to think about it. I think it's good to just think about it in general. I figured out how to use the mobile editor to launch the run and run separately. I have 2 years of experience in game development. I wanted to know if this is considered expert. I don't know. Are you good? The other option is just include a caveat emptor notification. Yeah. Don't pass this file around. Sharing saved data is bad. To be honest, like it's, yeah, like people can still get you. Like you shouldn't be downloading stuff from dodgy websites for like saved data. I want to unlock the game. I wouldn't say that I've finished it. So I'm going to download someone's resource. It's like, come on, man. I want something here. So basically we want to check the file. So we go I might make a save data directory. And like, I don't know, you could make it hidden, right? I don't know if that would work on Windows, but it does work in whatever. We can test that in a second. Dir access. Dot make the absolute. So make the file. I should make a video about mod support. I don't know anything about mod support, so Windows Defender got you back. Windows Defender wouldn't save you from this. It gives you a warning anyway when you download some games. Yeah, oh yeah. The resource video is probably my most popular video, so that might be why you're watching it. I think if I like look at my stats, it's number one. Analytics. Actually, if I just go to my channel, I don't have to go to the back end. We don't want to show you guys that. Yeah, it's the most popular one. followed by the tutorial. I gotta make some more videos like that. Even the signals one did okay, but the tweens one didn't. Those were the days. Windows Defender will be like, oh no, we'll be like, I must warn you have a virus now. Yeah. After you have a virus. Okay, let's get back on track. So save file path. So we just pass in this user save pass, right? And basically we can check if the file exists. So we can go I think there's an easier way to do this, but I'm just copying some of my old code. Access.open. All of them there's no proactive things, they're only relative, yeah. File.open, and then we pass in the user save file path. Right, because now we've made it. And then if not, excuse me, if not dot file exists, and then this, we look for this, and then we'll save it like past there. This is where we will save it if it doesn't, or if it doesn't already exist. So basically first run, we check that to see if it exists, and then we save it if it does. So we just save weapon data. It wants the weapon manager. That might actually be a problem for me. Pass. We'll figure out how to do that later. If I can load weapon data. Because that'll be the challenge, right? Because we want to load it at runtime, so we need to get access to the player. I'm probably going to need to create a signal. So this is all we need. Another big concept I've been trying to wrap my head around is multiplayer. Yeah, I tried to learn multiplayer a couple of years ago. It's really hard and it takes a lot. The problem is you need to build, if you're going to make a multiplayer game, start from like, don't make a game, don't like prototype anything, make the multiplayer part. And then go from there, because everything needs to be completely different. Like you want to be handling everything on the server, or if it's peer-to-peer, you need to create some kind of, I don't know, server component of the game that controls everything rather than the client. You don't want the client to be controlling stuff. So it's completely different from regular game development. So yeah, multiplayer is easier in Godot 4. I haven't tried it yet. They've got like nodes that you can use to just like pass on that information through the server, right? So you can just like set a node up as a receiver and it just copies everything, as far as I'm aware. Something like that. It's a very oversimplification of what I'm understanding it does. Okay. Save weapon data. And then, so this is really going to be loaded by the, this is going to be controlled, like if we're talking about like save game, load weapon data, this is something that the player is going to want to do. It makes me wonder, like, if the player should just be calling these functions, like obviously this is an auto load. Maybe it will emit a signal. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Have it return something here. Okay, so everything else is pretty easy. For the resource saver, we just go resource saver. .save global settings. Yeah, the high level multiplayer stuff and the multiplayer spawner, multiplayer synchronizer nodes make things a lot simpler. Yeah, because you used to have to set all that stuff up yourself, and it was a real pain in the ass. So what we need to do, this saved weapon, right? Saved weapon has an array. And if we pass in the weapon manager, we can't just save the weapon manager in that. That's not helpful. I mean, it probably would work, but that's not what I wanted to do. I want to look for the weapon. It's called the weapon stack. We'd probably just, it needs to be renamed. It's the weapon inventory. Weapon inventory. Which is an array, and it's going to be equal to the weapon manager, not weapon manager, little weapon manager. Dot weapon stack. Inventory. Okay, that's the thing that we actually want. And then realistically, then at the end of the day, I mean, to be honest, we can just say like saved weapons. Yeah, save weapons dot weapons equals weapon manager dot weapon stack. Like that's all we need to do, right? Just override that array with weapon slot. Should be working. Resource saver dot save, and the resource is the saved weapons, and we will, the path was going to be the saved weapons, no, user save path plus saved weapon path. And there's a couple of options here. Let me see. Save string flags bitfield server. I thought you could save as like binary. Resource format saver. Flags. This music is weird, eh? It's a bit of an odd one. Shall we skip it? Alrighty. So, yeah, what are the flags? Bundled, compress, change path, omit, edit to properties, relative path, save, big, Indian. That doesn't help us. Change path, bundle resources, compress, flag, none. I don't know, nothing really. Alright. Well, I think it's like you save it as a res file instead of a TRES file. I think that's what you would do in terms of like more safety. But anyway, save weapon data. I just need a way to call that on exit, or like whenever you pick up a weapon, just like pass it back to the saved weapon resource, or on exit. Really, it's one of the two. So probably player character. Let's just keep it simple for now, so that anytime you pick up a weapon, if body type is equal to weapon, actually, realistically, we just want to save it when we close. So we can connect a signal, child exiting, emitted when the signal child node is about to exit the scene tree, usually because the node is exiting the tree, because the child node is being removed or freed. Tree exited after the tree is no longer active. I can't remember what I used in the past. It works really well. Check file. I need to go. I need to go. My data is about to run out. Get out of here, man. Have a good one. Alright, let's just save it every time. I'm just not a fan of the music right now. Unpack dictionary. Tree exiting. We'll get with that. Tree exiting. So you can connect that up and you can save the weapon data. You can request this. So I'm going to need a couple of signals because they can't talk to each other. So signal, I want to say, I mean, actually, rather than connecting it here, disconnect that. And on the player character for the weapon manager, we can go tree exiting and connect it to the weapon manager. And I need to go to project settings, input map. It's probably not the best way to do it because then what you want is like a global way of collecting everything. So you could also add this to a group. It's very specific, but you could do it. Save game, saved weapons. Save game.gd, save game.tsn. Okay, add, close. But let's just do it this way for now. You liked playing Zombie Survivor. I'm glad you did. I'm really glad you did. It was not well received by the jam. So, goodbye, bro. Bye. Have a good one. On tree exiting, we want to say, now there's nothing playing. Is it just, oh, it's just really quiet. We want to say save game dot what's the name of the function? Save weapon? Save weapon data? And then you just pass in yourself. Right? It's all at once. So on exiting, we're going to pass to that. And that should really make that exist. The loading part is the hard part. We probably don't really even need to check this here. What we need to do is actually check it here. Let's just if not file exists, save weapon path. Sorry, I'm leaving the broadcast. Yeah, it's all good, dude. Go study. That's important. You got to study. That's it's super important. More important than listening to me try to figure out how to do a save resource, which isn't even the right way to do things. If the file doesn't exist, then whatever, it doesn't matter. Actually, it actually doesn't matter. We just need to make sure the path does. And then load weapon data. It can still take the weapon manager. So we can pass that in because we just make it the responsibility of the weapon manager to get this information from it. So we can go resource loader. So this is the unsafe part because you can just run any code resource loader.load, right? Actually, I should say saved weapon. So we also want a copy of it. Equals resource loader.load. And then we go, this will be just cool to see in general. Save file path. User path. Right, and then we can say weapon manager. dot weapon stack equals, actually we might just return save weapons. That's better. And then we don't even need to take the weapon manager. We just return it. And this returns void, but it's actually going to return resource. Right? So that works. Now, this makes sure that it exists, but if the file doesn't exist, this will actually be a bit of a problem. So we probably need to first create an empty one if nothing exists, or what do we do? So what do we do on first run? Because if we're going to call this on the ready, the very first time we make this is not going to exist, right? Because this file just doesn't exist for the player. So we need to make it exist, and we want it to be whatever we've set it to be for the first scene, for like whatever it is. Like, it's probably easier if it's empty, right? But it's not in this case, and we don't want to limit ourselves and say like, no, the very first scene you can't have a weapon. Like, that's kind of annoying and not like the best. So we could well, if we did take the weapon manager, we still return resource, right? So then we can actually just, we can move this code down, or we can create a function like check for file, right? Comes in a little bit funky. All right, pass. Just delete this. So when we load it, we can actually say, let's check. Right, and we can just return file exists rather than doing a path. And so we can say if check for file. So if file exists, then we're fine to continue on with what we're doing. Save weapons equals resource loader.load. Cannot return a value called to check for file because it returns void. Oh, right. My bad. Sorry about that. Happy days. And if it doesn't exist, we can actually save the weapon data, and we can pass in the weapon manager. In fact, we just really need to go like that. And then load it up again. That's kind of a bit inefficient, but either way, it works. If not, check save data. And then we load it, and then we return it. Easy peasy. Okay, so now in the player character, on the ready function, we can go right up to the top. We can call this, we can go saved, it returns, so we can go weapon stack. So weapon underscore stack is equal to, God damn, this music's pissing me off. It's not the right vibe, man. That's all I gotta say. Can I clear the playlist? I don't want to quit, but that will work. VLC. Media library. Add to playlist. Let's try this one. It's probably, I mean, it's not that great either, but whatever. This is music by Kevin MacLeod. Okay, so the weapon stack equals saved game dot load weapon data, and it just wants the weapon stack. Actually, it wants itself. You just pass itself in, right? Resource cannot be assigned to a variable type array. Okay. That's okay because we are turning that. We actually want to return save weapon dot weapon. Is that right? And this actually returns an array. My bad. Should be happy now. Okay. Moment of truth. Does it run? No. We have no weapons. Weapon stack is empty. Please populate with weapons. Okay. I'm pretty sure the game doesn't work if you do that. Like if I run this and I try to pick something up, it just doesn't work. It's totally broken. So obviously that didn't work. We should have a copy of that now. Scene. I'm kind of curious to see what it looks like. How do you open it? I think it's under project, open user data folder, save data, save data.tres. We want to notepad. That doesn't look very nice. Open with, which is another app. Why isn't Visual Studio Code an option? It's binary because I'm saving it as binary, so it's really hard to just you can't read it. It's not readable. Okay, so we'll just save it as a Trez for now. Run it again. It's just empty. Okay. Why would it be empty? Well, now I have to delete the file first of all. I'm kind of curious. Save weapons.weapons. It should be the same as the weapon stack. What's going on? And it is. There's a resource there. So I guess the problem is that when it loads, right? So if you save resource saver.save, resource loader.load in the same thing, is it not like can you not get it back? Like, is it not easy to get it back? I don't know. Like, what's the deal? Because obviously save weapons.weapons here isn't actually about print. Delete that file. And it's empty. Right. So we save, but we don't actually return it. So, but we don't really need to load it. We just need to, in fact, we can just skip that because we've already populated save weapons.weapons. So that's kind of like silly. So we can actually just do this. Did I delete that file? Actually realized I didn't need to do that. So let's go. Okay, it works. So obviously we don't have any problems here, but what happens if I pick up the rocket launcher? All right, so now we've got a rocket launcher and I save. Oh, well, I don't save, I just exit, right? And now when I run the game again, it doesn't work. What does it say? Weapon stack is empty. Please populate with weapons. Because I'm never loading. I'm never loading it. So dumb. Here we go. Go return. And at the bottom of this, we go return. Okay. Delete the file. Actually, it should just work, right? Still empty? No, I guess not. Oh yeah, because when I saved it, it would have been empty. Run it again. It's third time's the charm. It's working now. Let's grab that, exit, run it again. Still nothing. If not, check for file. So if the file exists, then we load this. Do we need to duplicate it? Is that the problem? Pick it up. Still nothing. So why does the resource loader don't load? Am I not calling save? Is save weapon dot save? Huh. Save weapons. I guess that's not returning the right value. That's the only explanation. Because I'm pretty sure that's like a silent fail. Like if load doesn't actually get anything, it just returns error. It doesn't actually loads a resource at the given path, caching the result for further access. If the register format is queried sequentially, an optional type hint can be used to further specify the resource type. It should be handled. Returns an empty resource if no resource format loader could handle the file. So I think there's a problem here with the resource handler because it should be fine in theory, right? Save data, global menus. Let's have a look. Did I close all of that stuff? That's kind of annoying. I hate this welcome bullshit. Like, how do I make this go away? Mark done? Leave me alone. Duplicate true. Global settings equals reload dot load. It seems to be okay. Like, that's pretty much the exact same thing that I did last time. So why does it not work? I guess that's the ultimate question. Is there a way? Well, I mean, it's pretty clear, right? Like, it's definitely not working. Can I query this? Let's delete it and then run the game. And then go to the save data. Can I open this? Not hard to read. In fact, it doesn't tell me anything. Except for the fact that it exists. Well, I can tell that it is 1 kilobyte in size. What happens when I exit? It doesn't change in size. 207 bytes. Hard to say if it gets smaller. It wouldn't matter if it wasn't saving on exit because you would expect it to just have whatever we saved here. Save, return, saved weapon. So the question is, what am I doing wrong? Hey, Mikria, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream, man. We are currently trying to figure out how to save and load data, which is, it shouldn't be this difficult, but for some reason it is right now. And we're totally ignoring all the security risks associated with Resource Saver. because I'm gonna solve those problems somehow. Save, return, saved weapon, save weapon. Weapons, resource loader, .load. I don't understand actually what the problem is, because that really shouldn't really. It's a very simple syntax. It's not complicated. You know what I mean? This is what I did last time I did this, and it was fine. Have I got the path wrong? Am I just dumb like that? Saved, user save path, save weapon path. Dot duplicate equals like true. Resource loader, it's not resource saver. I've made that mistake in the past. I can actually check it in the remote. Inspector, save weapon resource. It's got an array, it doesn't have anything in it. Okay, so that we can already see is a big issue. It really shouldn't be empty. And how come it is? What other kind of errors are we getting here? Weapon stack is empty. Oh, hang on a second. Delete the user's data. Get rid of that. Remote. Okay, so we do have something in the array right now, but then when we save it, it doesn't come back. Which I find a little bit... Okay, so if we exit now, and we run the game again, right now we haven't re-saved it, so I want to check that is 0. Right, so order of operations, maybe? Resource loader.load, return save. If file exists. Check file, tree exiting, connect, load settings, load. If not. Unless this is always returning true. Right? But then that would mean this is going to be on the exiting. The tree exiting has to be the issue, right? The tree exiting has to be the issue. For sure, right? I gotta check that. Print save weapons dot weapons, I guess. Delete the user data. How am I going to check for that though? And it'll be empty here. And it doesn't get called a second time. And you would expect it to. So, play character. I don't think this is getting called. I think this is the problem. This function isn't getting called. On tree exiting? I thought that got called when you closed the game. Am I missing something there? Emitted when the node is just about to exit the tree. The node is still valid as such. The node for deinitialization or a destructor path. The signal is emitted after the node's exit tree, but before the notification. Perhaps it's more complicated than that, right? Perhaps it's more complicated. Maybe I'm missing something here. I thought tree exiting actually got called when you closed that. It's obviously not. Okay. Am I tree exiting, right? Admitted when the node is about to exit the tree, the node is still valid. As such, this is the right place for deinitialization or destructor, if you will. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know, guys. That's a bit of a mystery to me. Tree exiting on closing the game. That's the question, right? I thought that got called. Tree exiting on close. Because that's worked for me in the past, but it hasn't worked. It's not working for me now. Tree exiting node. Emitted when the node is still active but about to exit. Like so you said, emitted when the node is about to exit the tree. Other implications depend on what you're trying to do. Is the difference between it and ready. Just one is called when edge tree every time, and it's this edge tree is called. Position before it quits the game. I was trying to use exit tree, but this function is called too late. The object transforms have been cleared, and as the child is already orphaned. Exiting tree signal and notification unparented, but these also happen too late. I seem to recall discovering the functionality related to this is not operating as I expected to. I did a quick test, printing out the notification order ID for 3 nodes when the window is closed, which is produced. Also, I don't understand any of this. Also, in part, the issue of notification order seems like it may be related to the node in question getting explicitly deleted or just a consequence of the parent node being deleted. It could also be a good idea to take a look at the code around here where functionality is implemented or somewhat related issues. When do they say to do it? They're probably not going to say when to do it. I thought you could use tree exiting to like save before you go out, but I guess that's not true. Which is super annoying actually. So I could just periodically grab that information, like an autosave every 10 seconds or something. Right? That's fine. Autosave timer. Let's just do that. For now. Everything's temporary until it's not. Is the stream effing again? Dunno. It looks like it's effing again. I don't know. I need to find... It looks pretty bad on my end. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth Anyway, I mean, I'm gonna do this anyway, so I might as well just leave the stream up. If it's fucked, it's fucked. It's whatever. Timer. I need to find. It looks pretty bad on my end. And now I can hear it. Now open the stream. I don't know if it's worth. Anyway, I'm gonna do this anyway, so I might as well just leave the stream up. If it's fucked, it's fucked. Hey, what the heck? Timer. Dude, the lag is real. That tab's closed. Yeah, that's crazy. And now I can hear it. Now open the stream. Just close the entire tab. Close down. Close it, close it, close it. I don't know where it is. Unless it was here somewhere? Don't know. What a night, what a night. Auto save timer. I should make this like 10 seconds. In fact, I'm gonna make it really quick because like right now I'm just testing and I don't give a fuck. So timeout. We connected to save game. Signal. Ask for information. Request. Save data. Right, and then every time we that timer times out, we're gonna emit this signal, and it'll hit whatever we want it to, and then they will like save. They'll hit this function. So that's the plan. So so we'll just get access to the autosave timer and go autosave dot start, and we'll just make it like 1 second, like I said. Save timer. Right, so save timer time. We'll make it 1. It's not a 1 sort, it's not that. Okay. And it says request save data. And so in the weapon manager, we can, in the ready function, rename this because it's obviously not working. Disconnect. Save weapon data. Okay. And then we can go save game dot request save data dot connect to save weapon data. Right. So now every time that signal is emitted from this, we will save the game. Right. Theoretically, it's a lot right now, so we should see a lot print out. I'll need to delete the user data again. So let's not forget. And let's run this. Okay, you can see out here it's printing the resource, and so now we're pretty safe. Let's just pick up a weapon and we should see 2. Okay, great. Let's exit. And now when we run it again, we still don't see it. So that's really bad. Which makes me think this is getting called on every single start. It doesn't actually, that doesn't really make sense. It doesn't get called. It's just not saving it properly. That makes sense. Save weapons dot weapons. Resource saver dot save. I feel like the syntax here is wrong. I'm not specifying the file. Yes, I am. User save path, save weapons path. Actually, you know what? Like, realistically, the problem is in this section of the code. Like, if I should really focus on this, because, like, we know that save weapon function does work, and we know that on the first run, this is fine, but on the second run, it isn't, which means this section of the code is what's being called. I guess the only thing that I'm having trouble with is confirming what if it actually is like correctly saving the data. That's the part that I'm sort of falling over on, because when I inspect that, it kind of doesn't really make sense, like in text form. So if I pick all of these up, then we have quite a long array, and then we exit. Does this return anything? It'd be really nice. It does return an error. Save, it returns an error. Okay. Var error equals that. Print error. And I'm guessing resource loader does too. Load. It doesn't return an error. It just returns a blank. So I guess now we can see if there's an error here. And if it is, then we can focus on that. And if it's not, then the problem definitely is in this section of the code. So we're getting a 0. Let me just... I don't think we have any problems there. We get zeros, which I think is good. The flags, bitmask can be specified custom save, saver flags. No resource saving, save the resource with a path relative to the scene it uses. Bundle external resources. Change the resource path to the saved resource to match its new location. Do not save editor specific metadata. Save big endian. Compress the resource on saving. Okay. Error. 0 is okay, so that's fine. So it's not having any problems saving. It's just having problems loading. So let's have a look at that. I hate debugging. It's just not fun. So resource loader.load user. Okay, I gotta check the syntax on this. Loads a resource at the path. Type hint. Do I need to put the hint? No, it's there. Cache mode. Registers. Optional hint can be used for the type that should be handled. Anything that inherits from resource can be used as a type hint, for example, image. Cache mode property defines whether and how the cache should be used or updated when loading the resource. See cache mode returns an empty resource if no could handle the file. I don't know. Resource loaded.load. That's what I'm calling, right? Uses save path. And then when I print the weapon, save weapons.weapons, it doesn't do anything. Global settings, duplicate equals true. So I can only assume this doesn't work, and I can't really answer the question as to why. Could it be that they're not Trezors? Nah, well, it wouldn't really matter, to be honest, because it is a .tres file, so that's fine. Is the path bad? That can't be true because it wouldn't pass the check where we make the data and we check that the file exists. So, you know, it's okay, that returns true, right? So the file does exist. And then we go load user save path, which is this, save data. And then we pass in the save weapon path, which is saved _weapons.tres, so that's fine. And then we hit the duplicate because we want to duplicate the resource. Although it doesn't really matter, to be honest. We can check if it exists. Let's do some testing. Rename dependencies. So I can actually... So we can check that it exists to get recognized extensions, get resource, has cache, load threaded, load status, remove resource format loader, set abort on missing resources. Itchy. Yumi Misia, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for hanging out with us. How's it going? I think the stream's been a bit buggy this evening, but I'm glad you're here. Oops. The bitrate has been all over the place, but we're here. I'm glad you're doing well. Okay, just came here from Twitter. Hey, it's nice to see that Link's doing something. I almost don't post that. Well, that's good. Yeah, I barely post on Twitter anymore, but I still have it, so I don't really know where else to put like my notification that I'm going live. I put it in Discord and then I put it in on Twitter. I don't know. Maybe I should find some more place. I kind of was putting it on Facebook for a bit, but then I was like, they don't know me. No one on Facebook knows who I am. Like I can put it in the Godot Facebook page, but like it uses my full name and yeah, it's weird. So it's just Twitter and my Discord at the moment. But that's good. I'm glad it's making a difference. Okay, so why doesn't this load? Let's check if it exists. Maybe there's a path with use more hashtag Godot X. Yeah, I need to post probably more. I've got so many like clips from the stream that I post on YouTube and TikTok and all that. I just post them on Twitter as well. I'm pretty sure they want you to do that now as well. So yeah. Print resource to save weapons. I can't figure out how to load my file. And I'm doing it in the most unsafe way possible. It does exist. So the file exists. So what's the problem? Is it just empty? Does this is returning 0. This is fine. Saved weapons, weapon manager, weapon stack. Man, I'm so confused as to why this wouldn't load up. Is there potentially a problem in the weapon manager itself? Actually, no, I would say the weapon manager is okay because we know it's actually picking it up when it's empty. So it's definitely not a problem there. The problem in itself has to be with the resource loader. Right? Like, we know that it saves, it returns a 0 error. So it's saving no problems. We know that when it does save, we actually don't have any issues with the load, right? So like it's always getting replaced, and on first run, it works totally fine. Being a resource file, you can open it in Notepad. Yeah, but I can't see anything. I was trying that, but then it doesn't tell me anything. Open with Notepad. Like it doesn't actually say what's inside the resource. It just says that it's a resource called saved weapons. Is that part of the problem? Am I like just missing something really obvious here? Am I just dumb? am I just dumb? Daz Razor also, welcome back to the stream. You've been lurking. Okay, so resource saver, it's empty. Okay, so that's my problem. Then it's not saving the file. Why? Why not? Is it because of this? I'm setting, when I save weapons, I'm always setting the weapon manager to be the save weapon. So I figured that save weapons would not, just because I start with an empty save weapons. You know what I'm saying? It's open one, another one as a reference. It's empty. Does it need at export? Nah. I don't think so. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're totally right, actually. Yes. Oh my god. Save game. Save weapons. It does need to be an at export variable. Otherwise they don't exist, right? It's a trick for players, that one. Although, like, you wouldn't... Thank you so much. That's it. I think this will work now. I remember that when I was first trying to get this to work way back like months ago, right? We pick up all the weapons. And then we exit. I wish I know what you were saying. I'm an artist in the group of making games. I'm trying to understand how scripting works. It can be really challenging. It took me a long time. You know, it took like a solid 3 or 4 years before I got like to the point where I could do stuff like this. That being said, I'm not much of an artist, so like there's give and take. Some people are going to be better at the coding side, and some people are going to be better at the art. And I guess we can all work together to make a game. As sometimes you have to work in a team, and that's just how it is. Like I don't think I could ever make a game on my own. I'm going to have to like outsource the art if I ever make a game for a commercial project. Like I'm just not capable. It works. That was it. Daz Razor, you did it for me. Let's blow up some boxes. Okay, so that is a problem. I like how this has like so much impact, but then like it's actually not shooting anything. The raycasts are going all down. I wonder... That one worked, no problems. That was quite bizarre. Okay. Can we get to other weapons? That's out of ammo. And that works totally fine as well. Confused. Why did the rocket launcher behave that way? It works fine otherwise, right? Right? Okay. Come back, we'll have the exact same ammo. It works this time, I don't know why. Okay, so this is like a really good way to do this. Like, it pisses me off so much that this is unsafe because I don't have to do barely anything aside from forgetting how to even make a resource. Let's just forget about that for a second. Like, forget that I got the code wrong and just like look at realistically how much effort it takes to set up a save system using Resource Saver. Like, it's honestly so, it's nothing. I'm kind of curious to know if this will work in an exported project, because I know sometimes they like have issues. Have I tested that before? I think I have. If I export this, I think it will work just fine. Godot, exports, create new folder, test, export project, save. Like, it's crazy to me that they just like code injection is possible with this, and it's just so good. I'm gonna have to figure out a way around it because, like, honestly, I don't think I can work with anything else. Documents, Godot, exports, test. The answer is yeah, it works. Let's pick up some more weapons. You still always go to the first weapon in your stack, so that's another variable we can add to the saver, but like other than that, it all works. Obviously these weapons will come back every time we load up. Maybe that's not such a big deal, it just depends on your game. But yeah, it's crazy to me that you can't use this as a way of saving data because of code injection. So is there a way that you can prevent that? I guess that's what we're going to try and figure out over the next couple of days. Hopefully it doesn't drag on too long because you kind of want to just like get to that. That being said, I think I'm going to jump off because we've been at this for 3 hours now. So, and I can't code for that long. I just don't have the attention span, eh? But you guys have been great. I gotta do a shout out to the Patreons and the members. Give me a second. There is encryption plugin. I'm gonna have a look into that because, like, to me, like, I have so many nested resources within that resource. Doing it with a JSON dictionary is like, it's not gonna work, right? It's just not gonna work. It has to be this way. Like for data, like if you just need numbers and strings, yeah, that's fine, easy. But like for scenes, for resources, I mean, come on, are we kidding ourselves? Gonna go like find the packs, the path and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, it just seems like a lot of work. And I would need to recreate I'd need to build the resource every time I load it. It's just a lot. Okay, bear with me a second. I haven't updated my file. I need to update my file. Let's go to Patreon. Why don't we do it live? We'll do it live. Shout out. Open with. I had a new Patreon over the weekend, which is pretty sick. Open with GIMP. I'm like, yeah, let's just update the Patreon list. I guess how do I do this? I click into this. I think the name of the guy is YGG. So thank you, YGG. And then I don't know if I should add them to the list or not. We got Chris over on YouTube. So it's YGG. And I gotta round them all up. We're getting really disjointed. The community is all over. They're on Twitch, they're on YouTube, and they're on Patreon, and it's fine. But I gotta find a way to get people their assets because that's the main draw card. So memberships. Bear with me. Analytics, it's so hard. I want to use his screen name because I don't want to use his full name. YouTube's weird like that. It just gives me their first and last name. Like, I don't need that. No one wants to see that. And on Twitch, we have Mr. Sparkle. I need to make this one wider. Alright, that's awesome. You can save that. And then the background layer. I think I might do away with the background layer because it's just like kind of annoying to have to fill that in with GIMP. The eraser. Control A, get rid of all of that. It's too much. And then just what kind of background? Just make it like a blue. Let's just give it a solid color background. There we go. Okay, thank you for the support, everybody. Chips, Hazza, Color Pants, Rap, Big Green, Nike, Jice, Bricky T, YGG, Scoremonger, Mr. Sparkle. It's 3 hours of overwork. 3 hours overworking. Yeah, that's about all I can handle. Don't tell my boss. Alrighty, let's do a raid. Rachel, who are we raiding today? 2D platformer, one viewer. Similar. 2D platformer game prep. Uptime 105. Do. You're winning. I gotta stop this boring old music. Alright, he's the winner. He's doing Godot work. That's the main thing. Guys, you've been real. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Sorry the stream was shit today. Like, I don't know what the deal is.
Oh. Where's my...
With the what's it called? The bitrate has been really bad. But yeah, let's raid.
I think I deleted my animated sprite sheet, and that's what happened.
Alrighty, YouTube. You guys are the best. I love you more than Twitch.
Oh.
But don't tell him I said that.
Chat, how are you? Thanks for the
Have a good one.
raid coming in. Morning, everybody.